you're seeing market trends in Seattle that in some ways reflect what you're seeing more broadly. Talk to us about how the tech scene here is related to the real estate scene at large.
Well, tech blew up this town. Over the past 5 years, we've seen 50% price growth. Many people in this middle-class town have now been priced out. We are probably past peak Seattle for the first time this year. We saw more people using our website to leave Seattle than to come to Seattle. It has been a moment of reckoning for this town because we've always been a destination for people looking for a better life.
So the peak is gone, behind us.
More people are leaving than are coming in. We still have plenty of tech folks coming in, but inventory has started to pile up, and some folks have said enough is enough.
What's been the impact of Amazon on Seattle, for better and for worse?
Oh, well, it's been an overwhelmingly positive impact. I mean, every city in America is vying for HQ2. It has created this massive amount of prosperity and all of these jobs. It has created an entire tech ecosystem. But we are having the same challenge that San Francisco did, trying to deal with that prosperity, making sure that it is well divided among all of the citizens, because this used to be a logging town and a coffee town and a Nordstrom and a Costco town. It used to be a middle-class town, and now it is a total tech scene.
Is it bad for Seattle that Amazon is looking elsewhere? I mean, they're creating 50,000 new jobs, not here.
Well, I think they're going to be hiring here as fast as they can, too. There are buildings going up left and right. It's just that they had all of their eggs in one basket, and tension started to build between the city and its largest employer. And at some point, if you're running that company, you have to have another place to go.
Now, Spencer, you've been reporting on Amazon's decision to raise the minimum wage of workers, and you've poked some holes in this plan, whereby the company isn't just raising the minimum wage, they're also taking away things like equity and bonuses. What is the latest?
Yeah, so Amazon giveth and Amazon taketh away. So they made big headlines yesterday with the $15 an hour minimum wage pledge for its warehouse workers. And it's a very savvy move for Amazon because it basically, jumped from being this poster boy for wealth and equity to being a leader of the $15 an hour and living wage movement. But then the footnote on that is that there were some compensation programs that they're eliminating. So one is stock options that warehouse workers will see phased out over the next couple of years, and the other are some incentive bonuses based on how much time off you've taken and some production bonuses as well. Those will be eliminated. So some things are being taken away. And the bottom line is that the $15 an hour announcement is very good for new workers at Amazon. Those are the ones who will see the starting wage go up the most. And then people who have been in the warehouses a few years won't see as big of a bump. They'll still see a bump, but not as big of a bump. And so some of them are a little frustrated by all the publicity around.
What do you think the political implications are of Amazon setting the minimum wage as opposed to the federal government?
Well, I think Uber set the minimum wage before Amazon did. Part of the issue is that we're all competing for talent with people who are driving for Uber. So if you're trying to pay $12 an hour, Walmart workers are walking out of the store and driving a car instead. So I think some of this was conceding ground to Bernie Sanders and everyone else, and some of this is just the reality of a booming economy and a very tight labor market. So I think Amazon did this in part because it wants to advance a kinder, gentler capitalism, but in part because it had to staff those warehouses.
Any updates on HQ2, Spencer, and where? Like, will it be Washington? Jeff Bezos just paid Washington a visit.
That seems to be the favorite spot of speculation.
Despite the awkwardness with the president?
Yes, somewhere in the D.C. area, and he was even asked about it in his recent visit a couple weeks ago and didn't really say anything that you could read the tea leaves from. But the advantages of Amazon being in the D.C. region would be that it's become so large and there's so much of an antitrust conversation going around it. A lot of people within Amazon feel like the biggest weakness or threat to Amazon is just misunderstanding around Amazon. So if you suddenly have that proximity, you can definitely evangelize from the nation's capital and potentially thwart some of those concerns.
Now, Glenn, before you go, I have to ask about the broader real estate market. We're seeing signs of a slowdown. Is this the beginning of a prolonged slowdown, and has the market really turned?
We won't know for sure. The market has turned at the end of the year, but if the economy keeps booming, if the stock market goes up, and people still have a need to live somewhere come next spring, I think we're going to see prices rise again. But it's a real thing. There are houses piling up that used to sell quite easily that suddenly have been on the market 4 weeks, 8 weeks. It's not just in 1 or 2 cities, it's in cities across America. It's concentrated in the most coastal markets. I don't think it's surfaced in all the figures yet. September is going to be softer than August, if I had to bet.